Hey, how's it going, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Got cattle eating grain this morning. They get 4 pounds per animal when grass is kind of skimpy. When grass is growing in real good, they get 3 pounds per animal. This grain is a mixture of steamed crushed corn. It has almond hulls. It has alfalfa pellets. It has distiller grains. It is a good grain. I pay $430 per tonnage for it. These cattle really like it. It puts good weight on them. These cattle, they need that grain. These cattle, when they get brought here, they're about this size. Let me see if I can find a small one. I got a small little heifer around here somewhere. Oh, where'd she go? Oh, where'd she go? Huh, where'd she go? I guess she just lost in here somewhere. Here's a kind of a small fella right here. He's actually been here about 2 months. So they're smaller than him. When I bring them in, they're about 250 pounds. Oh, there she is right here. She's right behind this big old red animal. That's her right there. But when they're about 250 pounds, I bring them in. For a heifer, I pay about $325. For a bull calf, I pay about $350, $375, anywhere around there. For a heifer, I'll pay about $325, $350 at 250 pounds, and I take care of them. When I go to these sale barns, the whole thing about these sale barns is that these animals at that sale barn, they're going to get sold under any circumstance, whether I buy them or somebody else buys them, or whatever happens, they need to go. Their owners have put them on market. They are getting sold that day. So whether I buy them or somebody else buys them, whatever happens, they need to go to a different farm. So when I go to a sale barn, oh, here come the animals. They're looking for some extra food. So when I go to these sale barns, I pick them up. I take care of them. It's real hard to take care of these small animals. When they're small, even this guy's a little bigger, but when they're small, when they're about that heifer size, they have practically drank milk their whole life. So they have zero idea what solid food is. They almost need to learn what solid food is. Cattle, they have this their intestinal tract, like their stomach, is called a rumen. That rumen has bacteria in it that needs to be developed. Their stomach also has this lining in it. I believe it's called papillae. A lot of stuff going on. Their stomach needs to be developed to digest solid food. So this grain mixture is a lot more digestible than hay or grass. So when these animals, when they're that small, what will happen? Okay, so what will happen from what I've seen, just my personal experience, is that when these animals, when they're this small, if they get put on fresh grass, like I just put them out on pasture, just let them at it, what will usually happen is that they will have diarrhea, real bad diarrhea, to a point where it'll kill them. when these animals are small, like 250 pounds, if they have real bad diarrhea for a couple weeks, that's a huge problem. They'll lose all the moisture in their body. It is a huge problem. So from what I've seen, when I put these animals on fresh grass when they're that small, they'll have an immense amount of diarrhea. They'll just have a tremendous amount of diarrhea to a point that they'll die. Some of these animals will die. Hay, the thing about hay is that it just doesn't seem to put them in good condition. They have a difficulty digesting. They'll get real big hay bellies, real big pot bellies. That hay will just sit in their stomach. They'll lose their muscling. When I look at a calf, I really want to see after a few months, I want to see that muscling develop in their back leg. I want to see them kind of round like this. I want to see that muscling in their back leg. I want to see they should look round. When I look at them, they should look a bit round. They should look like they're a little bit fat. The thing about hay is that it just doesn't put weight on these animals. Hay grass, it's just very difficult to put weight on small calves with hay. This is my little personal processor calf right here. She has a cleft palate. Her top lip is stuck to her nose. This one right here, I got her for real cheap. She's a good looking animal. She's broad. She's got good muscling, but I got her for almost like 75 cents a pound because she has that cleft palate. So I'm gonna send her to a processor myself, and she's gonna be going into the into my freezer for meat. Yeah, these animals, they get this grain because it's a necessity. From what I've seen, these animals, if they were left alone in nature, they would drink milk until they're like 450, 550 pounds. Most of these calves will drink milk until they're about that weight. In reality, though, a lot of these cattle that get raised for meat, like these Angus cattle, they're so large that they require a tremendous sum of calories to grow properly. Like if I were to raise a calf like this, like an Angus calf, on a mother cow until they were 550 pounds. Unless that mother cow was on a field that was very they would need a lot of forage to keep these animals growing properly. They need a lot of calories to grow properly. So it's hard to raise them on just milk. It is possible. Their mother needs a lot of forage though. These animals will actually, these animals will actually grow better in many circumstances on processed grain with grass or hay than they will on milk. Once they start eating grain, they will actually grow faster eating grain than they would drinking milk. They put on weight very quickly. A lot of these calves will put on 400 or 500 pounds in, not 400 or 500 pounds. They'll get to 400 or 500 pounds from 250 pounds in about 5 months. They'll grow tremendously quickly. So this grain is good stuff. It gets them looking good. They got good muscling on them. They have, good. They're in good condition. Like this fella, he's going to market this in less than 2 weeks now. He's going to market. He looks like he's in good condition. Like me, if I had an unlimited number of resources, if I had mother cows everywhere, yeah, I would gladly put these animals on milk. In reality though, these animals, when I go and buy them from a sale barn, somebody's got to buy them. They're at the sale barn to be sold. So somebody's got to buy them and somebody's got to take care of them. So if I do a good job taking care of these animals, then that's that. I mean, I got to do what I can to keep these animals healthy, to keep these animals in good condition. Because, you know, it's kind of a fairy tale to think that these small calves can go to a farm and just get stuck on the mother cow and everybody goes skipping off into la la land. These cattle, they need grain. If they get put on grass, they're gonna have diarrhea, real bad diarrhea from what I've seen. If they get put on hay, they'll just struggle real bad. They'll struggle to put on proper conditioning. So this grain is good stuff too. It's got a little bit of wheat in it too, but a majority of it is crushed steamed corn with alfalfa. It's got some distiller grains in there. It's got some wheat in there, but I mean, it's good grain. It gets these animals healthy. All right, that's it for me, YouTube. Y'all have a good one.